what you'll need to build this is some RGB cable, some RGB strip lights, connectors to connect the RGB strips together, and some electrical tape to tape up the joints. I personally use a soldering iron to solder the joints together, but they're quite as easily be done with them. 25mm white plastic conduit, a 16mm oval conduit for mounting the LED strips onto, that goes inside this, some mounting saddles, some joining connectors for 25mm, and whatever type of box you use to mount your control in, you'll need to be able to connect to that as well. To control it, you could use just the basic IR and control it with a remote control, or you can put it into your home automation using things like the Shelly RGBW or a Node MCU with a Arduino program on. So to mount the RGB strip, you just remove the backing off it to expose the glue, and easily just fix it to your 16mm oval conduit. If this does not stick down properly, you could always use some hot melt glue on the back just to keep it in place. When you get to the end of your oval conduit, you just cut to the nearest connection point. I also feed RGB cable utilising the 16mm oval conduit, so you have a continual 12V supply right round the circuit. This is then connected to each of the joining points in and out, and also using a connector we join the two strips together, and you can do this as many times as you want to get the length you need. On these RGB strips, if you've got the weatherproof type, you will need to take away the protective coating, and simply keeping your 12V, which is the black, you push into that and click shut. Now that makes the connection. Next, what you need to do is get your oval conduit with your RGB strip and your cables in and feed them inside the 25mm, feeding them right through till they come out the other end. Once they're out the other end, you get your 25mm connector, feed everything through and push it onto the 25mm conduit. So when you've done that and you've done your next strip, what you need to do is bring them both together, connect them up exactly the same way, making sure that the 12V and 12V all continue through, closing up. Now you have the two ends connected together. What you need to do, because RGB strips and LEDs take away voltage while they're moving along, to keep them the same brightness all the way along, I use the cable I've run through, strip them back, connect them and all them together in one joint. So black to black, green to green, red to red, blue to blue. Use the electrical tape to make sure the joints don't short. Like I said before, I personally use a soldering iron. I solder them joints to them joints and those joints to those joints with a cable between. This can be quite difficult if you're doing it on a roof line, as you've got to take your soldering iron up and do it on the joint. So once your joints are made, simply just push the two pieces of conduit together. Now you continue this round until you've completed your full loop of how you want to set up. Then check everything's working, and what I do to waterproof them is I go back fill each of these sides with like a silicone sealant, push that in, it'll push off, wipe the excess off, and that makes a nice weatherproof joint. So you don't actually have to use weatherproof RGB strip in them because the whole system is weatherproof anyway.